Welcome to Whiskey and Whitetails, where the only thing smoother than the whiskey are the stories we tell. I'm
Oh,
Gus.
I'm Matt. Brand new opener.
Yeah, we had a good one today, man. Before we get into that, though, thanks to the Waypoint Network for having us. Thank you to you, the listener, for everything that you guys do and the support. And of course, last but not least, thank you to our Patreon, especially those in the executive producer tier. They help drive the show, let us know what they want to see, who they want to see, and you can do the same thing. Just head over to patreon.com/whiskey and whitetails. Did I get that right?
That's right.
Okay, cool. But yeah, great guest today. When you want to introduce a little bit before he introduces himself, but sort of.
Yeah, it does. We got Aaron from the Scout Sniper Association. I met Aaron at the sniper event we went to last weekend, and I'd tell the story in there, but yeah, ended up meeting him, and cool dude, man. So I said I'd love to have you on the podcast. So here y'all are. It's on the podcast. A little bit off the ordinary cuff from what we normally do, but this is important stuff. There's a good story in there about 50-ish minutes in.
Yep.
And the link below is for that if you want to donate, which I think you will once you hear the story. But
yep, absolutely.
Yeah, man, we're so glad to have him on here. Had a great time talking, and it's a good episode.
Yep. Enjoy.
Yep. Have a good one. There you go. And we're live. Well, we're not live, but we're recording.
We're live for us.
Yeah, we're live for us.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. We got a good guest today. Aaron, go ahead and introduce yourself, my man.
Hey guys, Aaron Smith. I am a former Marine sniper. Went officer side, then since then, I got into some life-changing things. Now I'm the VP of Family Care for the Marine Corps Scout Sniper Association.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
How much do you like that?
Dude, I love it, man. Right when we're back in the day, man, before the wreck, right? We're always like, we don't really connect with kind of outside existential life things, right? It's not until really something you go through something, then you develop this empathy, and you're like, oh my God, I have a heart. So once I lost my leg, my family and I were kind of drug through everything. I started volunteering, man, because I became a stay-at-home dad. Then I started, once they all went to school, and I got 4 youngins. And I was like, I'm just going to show up one day. I'm going to be working in the cafeteria, and you're just not even going to know it, right? But I started volunteering at the schools, and then joined the association, man. And it's been those types of endeavors that have honestly done the best for our mental health over the years.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. We'll talk about it some other time, but I'm going through a similar transition in life, I think, for what's important to me and what feels good. But I'm glad that you found something, dude, because it's important. We talk not a lot, but we do often end up in the mental health space on this podcast, just because some guys are afraid to talk about it, man. I think it's important to have that conversation. We get to see faces.
Well, somebody has to, right? Somebody's got to be the guy that's like, all right, I'm going to step into the limelight, make myself an example, and then, open that conversation. And right. Like you said, man, we all kind of come from the operate in silence, suffer in silence culture, where you're just like, hey, man, I'm great.
Especially as men.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a very alpha culture too, right? That we come from. Where, military in general, you're looking at a very kind of alpha personality to begin with. And then as you kind of whittle that stick all the way down to the tier 1, man, you just, the balls don't get much bigger beyond a certain point. And then it's like, we hit the wall, man. Hit the wall. And then we're like, God, how did I get here, man?
Yeah. So. And it's, I knew I wanted to have you on when I met you at Scout Sniper. I met you at the sniper competition in North Carolina. When I was out there with Rendezvous Destiny with Ortiz, and I got to meet Lee and all those guys out there. Awesome facility. I had a great time. But I was walking around just taking pictures of like kind of the vendors that were there and some content for that stuff. And we started talking. You said something like the problem is we look scary. Like just, people like us just kind of look scary. And it's like, and I said, yeah. And they're super surprised when they find out that we're like gentle, really kind people. And it reminded me of that quote.
Yeah,
it's like I can't remember how it goes, but it's like being capable of great violence, but you choose not to do it. And that's, and that's the character of a man, I guess.
I was,
well, it's kind of,
what were you saying, Gus? Go ahead.
I was just saying, man, me, it was just like, we are protectors, right? That's why we join into some level. We want to protect those we love. We want to what we stand for, you name it. So when you boil it down to it, man, it's like, you know, I teach the dog, like, women and children are always good. Just the dudes you got to be suspect of, right? But it's like whenever it comes to anybody that's what we're here on this earth for, is to protect those people. But we look like a nightmare.
What were you saying, Gus?
Oh, I just we're talking about being, you know, scary or looking scary, but you know, first of all, I wasn't in the service. I hang out with Matt a lot, and the assumption gets made. I don't like to let that linger on for too long. My dad was in the service. He did 20 years, and he was in Tier 1, did that kind of stuff, and so I grew up around it. You know, my barbecues were not like regular family barbecues. You know what I mean? Like everybody had a little of their pagers. I can't tell you how many birthday parties or hockey games I looked up to see dad and friends looking at pagers and heading out on brag. But when I was younger, I remember my dad talking to me and explaining to me, these guys, he said, these are the kind of guys whose mentality is they could shoot a guy in the head across the table from them and go back to eating their breakfast and talking to their kid like nothing just happened. It's just it's just part of what they do. You know, they're experts in the application of violence, more or less. And you know, you guys spend so much time in that environment, and then it just ends like super abruptly. And if you don't find a home or find something that keeps you occupied and keeps you happy, it's a recipe for not good things.
Yeah.
Dude, it's a recipe for this, right? Like, good segue. You know, I got out, dude, after 15 years, man. I wasn't ready yet. You know, I still had time left in me, man, but that's a conversation for another day off camera. But so, you know, you just start that spiral. You're like, who am I now? What do I stand for? What am I even here for? All the existential questions that you don't really ponder until all of a sudden you're forced to slow down because you're done. And then, so I was going down, man. I was, you know, riding with the club. I was just wearing myself out, wearing myself down constantly, man. And I was coming home at like real late at night, dude. And I just remember just fog. You couldn't see anything, man. But I had to be home, right? I'm a stay-at-home dad at this point. Like, I got to be home. My wife's got to go to work. That's just the way it is. So I pushed, and then next thing you know, right, it's just like, feels bad, feels off in that. So I cut it to the right, and then bam, dude, just hit like this guardrail right at the face of it, where it has like that big 12-inch, half-inch thick steel plate, you know?
Yeah.
And so I hit that just off center of my bike. And what we figured is it broke my knee and my tib fib. And then when I became a projectile, my boot caught on the underside of that. And so my leg just ripped. Ripped right off. I got a picture, man.
Because the bone was broke.
Damn, man, that's wild.
Dude, yeah, there was nothing there. And it was the path of least resistance, you know? So I wake up, right? I'm laying on my back. I'm like, shit, man. Like, I knew something just happened. I knew I just got into a wreck. And so I start taking stock, you know, I'm laying on my back. I'm like, all right, everything feels okay. And I look down, right, and my chaps and my pants are down. And so when I look up, I see just like blood and mess. And I figured that was just like, I broke my leg really bad. It's just kind of flopped down like a hinge. So I was like, all right, I need to get help. So I started, but I could hear my headphones still in, and it's like disconnected. I'm like, all right, dude, I'm like right on the edge of Bluetooth. I'm right there. So I kind of wheel around, I see my bike, and I start crawling towards it, dude. And so I'm just like, and I just couldn't, you know, everything just gave out on me. And I'm going to send you this picture, Matt.
I was about to say, what music did you wake up to?
Dude, it was just like the music stopped, man. And all I could hear was just the Alexa, just a voice in the ear. And I gave out, and then it was black. And I woke up and I heard somebody saying, hey, man, like, call 911, they're on the way. Then black. And then lights, right? And then I feel hands, all this stuff, and then I'm out. You know, and so they tried to get a helicopter, too foggy. Can't even fly a life flight. So then they take me via ambulance to the nearest hospital. Hospital's like, dude, we can't do anything for this guy. Like, we're not that level of trauma that he needs. So they tried to fly the helicopter again from hospital to hospital, still couldn't, right? VFR only, man. And I mean, that, you know, they're comms only. So anyway, they get this, it's like a mobile trauma unit, and it's a semi truck that in the back of it is just like this gigantic ambo, and it's an operating room in it basically, right? So they go drive an hour and a half, hour and some change, pick me up, and a couple of docs, nurses drive me the other hour, some change to the hospital. So my old lady makes it there before me, and she sees this huge semi thing beeping up, backing up to the emergency room. And she's like, "Is that him?" And so, they wheel me out, dude, and they got like this red bag, with my leg in it, and the rest of me covered up. And yeah, so they couldn't save it, dude. They ended up taking it above the knee.
Show this.
It's epic.
Gnarly.
I show it.
Woo!
I show it to everybody.
That's so crazy.
Dude, that boot,
the skin's like
Harley Davidson.
That is hard,
bro.
Dude. That's crazy.
And it's like there's that meat hanging out, muscle. I mean, I show it to everybody.
Zoom in and make sure everybody can see it.
How surreal is that to look down at a body part that's no longer attached?
Go for it. It's because it doesn't even look real, dude. It looks like a movie prop, right?
Yeah.
Were your toes wiggling?
Dude, I mean, no,
I
dude.
I
was
imagine seeing your toes
7
moving
feet to the left. Hey, no, but Harley Davidson, man, makes a great boot. That boot is still good. It's up at the clubhouse, man, and it's like not
really?
spot on. I mean, it's
Did you
fantastic.
get to keep the leg?
Yeah.
They let you keep the leg?
No, you know what? I called back. Dude, I called them like a few months later to ask where my leg was, and they act like I was crazy. Like, oh, why do you want to know? I don't know, dude, because it was mine.
It's fucking
like,
mine.
do I get a receipt? yeah, exactly. Like,
your tax write-off, you probably
like
sold
I'm
this.
buried incomplete.
I want to be buried with it. That would have been mine.
Your voucher for when you get to heaven, like this.
Dude, like now I feel like in the afterlife, dude, I'm gonna be missing a leg because it's gone. Good Lord.
Also, where else can you go and tell that story? And we joke around about it because when I met you, the first thing after you talked about your leg, before I even knew about the motorcycle accident, I looked him straight in the face and I said, "So where'd you leave your leg at?" He was like, "On the side of the road."
Yeah. Dude, I had a buddy that was like, I mean, you didn't really lose it. Like, we knew where it was. So did you? I mean, I'm like, all right, man, semantics. I like it. It's good.
That's why I said leave
yeah,
it,
dude.
lose
and
it.
then
I knew you didn't lose it.
Wow. And now, man, it's like robo leg, man. So they have this thing, and that's what you were talking about, the OI, right? So the leg now, I'll move this down a little bit. Instead of having that socket, so traditionally, right, like the old pirate days, your leg goes into it. And then it's like that you're now just kind of moving it. But this is called the osseointegration or a bone anchored prosthesis, man. It's like a keyless chuck on a drill. Yeah, you just boom, pops off, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's
and
wild.
then like you were talking about, man, it's like a bolt, like a lug nut sticking out, right?
Yeah.
And
you
so
under that?
Dude, I want to do all kinds of things, man. I haven't figured out. Yeah. Funny story though, man. I had a tattoo going on my leg ever since back in the day. So like dead man walking, right? And that had to be pretty ironic for the surgeons as they're sitting there like, not anymore, asshole.
That was the tattoo on your leg? That's great.
Dude, yes. Yeah. And then, so the latest surgery, they had to take more off to be able to do this because they have to get down further in the bone. And so then they cut the skin and now it just says dead man walkie. Like they cut off the NG. I'm like, come on, guys. We could have done better.
Yeah, this is just to show it because I think this is crazy looking too.
Oh, sorry. I was going to show you this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that could be you, Aaron.
Oh, dude. See, I'm game.
That's from a movie.
I always tell
That's funny.
the docs, man. Yeah, like we make great guinea pigs, right? Like we'll try anything once. Well, most anything. Yeah. There you go, man.
It's so gnarly.
And
I had to take a picture of it.
Like
when we
this
were
different.
there.
Yeah, it's constantly open. Yeah.
But you were saying that like now you can feel when you're walking around.
Guardrail too, man.
Oh, did you? You're saying now that you can feel when you're walking around.
Osseoperception. Mm-hmm. So it's called like osseoperception, and basically what it is because that bolt is screwed into my femur, and they pack bone graft, and then what happens once it adheres, there's holes in the threads, and so now you get that vibration, that tension, the weight, the pressure, directional pressure up into your bone system. And then one, it's just how you're supposed to carry your weight anyway, dude. Instead of having, it being supported by a socket. But it makes it so I can now, right? I used to stand there in my kitchen. My kids are like, ah, wow. I'm like, what? And they're like, oh, you're standing on my foot. And I couldn't even tell. But now, dude, I feel like just a micro train in grass, man. We're out there at the range, just walking in the grass. I can tell when there was a clump, and it's pretty wild. It's pretty awesome. Yeah.
You were stepping on the dog before and stuff. Now you're good.
Dude. Yeah, man. It pissed him off.
Yeah. There's the guardrail.
Damn. Dude, that thing barely fucking moved.
Oh, yeah. So, dude, you can see how far I pushed it. Well, you can see the forward, and I pushed it back with about 12, 18 inches, just
Oh, I see. I guess it did.
straight back.
Yeah.
You can see, like, yeah. Wham.
That is gnarly.
Yeah, dude, not a good day. But at the same time, man, I mean, Vito, boost. Sorry, my dogs are going nuts with the ball. Come here. But I mean, but in a lot of ways, in my family life and everything else just got a lot better. I mean, like you said, you feel like you're at a moment where you kind of reevaluate what's important, right? What do I want to either, one, go down, be known for, or two, like, what am I really doing here? So I mean, it really forced me to focus. I got 4 kids, man, and a wife, and I was kind of putting them on the burner to take care of what I needed to, and wasn't a recipe for success. Right. But now, I mean, things haven't been better, dude. It's kind of the best it's ever been. You know, wake up every morning, go to bed every night in a wheelchair. But I mean, life's happy, man. Life's good.
That's awesome, dude. I'm glad that it worked out well and you didn't die on that fucking motorcycle. Because like I ride bikes too, and I think about, luckily I've been barely damaged. That's what I was gonna say. We gotta open something. Are you popping something fresh? Oh, hold on.
Yeah. Well, I got choices for you guys.
Bottle pop exclusive. We're doing Scotch.
Yeah,
I got Scotch.
And I got a choice. Right. I couldn't choose between the American Oak Founders Reserve Glenlivet or the Double Oak 12-year.
I got the double cast 15.
Let's do that.
The Macallan. Nice, that's pretty good.
Let's do that wood oak.
Yeah.
That mine's already open. Good. I'm going with the Balvenie Double Wood.
Oh, that's a great bottle.
Dude, that's my favorite, bro. Good, that is my favorite. Like $74, man. I love it. It's probably one of the smoothest scotches I've had.
Oh, you know what I forgot I have?
I haven't really met anybody that's known about Balvenie.
Oh, yeah, man. I got a problem. I know a thing or two.
Yeah, that's thanks to my dad for these.
Oh, you got that Ben Rick, that old shit, dude. We haven't had that in a long time.
Yeah, that 40-year. Yeah. This thing is crazy.
We got that pop. Well, hold on. Don't sip yet. We'll make sure everybody's poured. And I'm actually, you guys talk about something for like 4 seconds. I got to plug my computer and it keeps, I keep forgetting to connect the internet to it.
Oh, yeah, buddy. So I'm more like, when it comes to Scotch, man, I like the lowlands. I don't like the real peaty taste of, the Highlands Scotch. Yeah. I'm not that kind of man. But
I'm not a fan of
the real
smooth. I have a Highland Park over there that I opened once. I smelled it and I put the lid back on. I've never even tasted it. I could just tell you I wasn't gonna like it. I've brought that bottle to multiple events and nobody else will drink it either. That Highland 12 that I have.
Oh yeah, that's pretty hard to drink.
Yeah. It's like you're just sipping out of the bog.
Oh, 100%.
I just rather chew on the dirt and grass.
So we haven't done one of these in a while. This is called Just the Sip. This is the opener.
Just the Sip.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
So in Just a Sip, you just take a sip and you get one sentence to explain it. Whatever you're feeling, it doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong answers. So we'll let the guest of honor go first.
Smooth with a little bit of spice, but it's got just that little kick at the end that you can tell it just is right,
Hell yeah. Down with that.
Oh,
Gus, you already drank. You want to go on that Ben Rick?
I didn't pour the Ben Rick. I poured the Macallan 15. But it is as solid as it always is, man. It's really easy on the it's like I get a lot of pear, like apple and caramel fruit flavors, and it's really easy to drink. It's only 43 proof, or 86 proof, but it's It's good stuff.
All right, I'm gonna crush this. You ready?
You pound the whole thing.
Yeah, put your pinky out.
Mm. So I learned a new word and I'm going to use it. I get heavy vanilla, some dried fruit, and peat on the substrata, which is the overall background underlying flavor of something. So I get a little peat on that. It's not overpowering, but it's definitely a foundational note.
What was that? What was that word?
Substrata.
Substrata.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was
just the shit.
It makes you want to lean back.
Yeah.
It's like super chill blues.
Yeah. I did a good job.
Yeah, dude. Like you gotta sit back, take the scene in.
Yeah, man. Well, let's move into
So,
the
like,
Scout Sniper thing. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, we'll talk about the pop.
Well, that's how I'm getting into the Scout Sniper thing, right? This guy.
I was going to talk about Scout Snipers in general, but we'll go. We can get
hell
into
yeah,
later.
let's do it. Let's talk Scout
that
Snipers, man. That's where this guy. So Vito, the funny story, federal law, right? You can get it. Service dog doesn't say what type of breed, and doesn't, and it also says you can train your own dog for your own needs, right? But according to the VA, they won't pay for any kind of training. They won't get you a dog. But if you want your vet bills paid for, then you can get a dog from 1 to 2 places in the entire world, dude. 1 to 2 places. And I don't know who said these 2 places were that's the best thing out there since, the dog was created, but that's it. And so right here, I'm like in a wheelchair, I'm on the floor, I've got my prosthetic, it's got parts. I don't want dog hair everywhere, right? And so I needed something that wasn't a shedder. I don't need a lab. I don't need a retriever. I needed something that can pull me in my wheelchair, right? I needed something that could protect me and my family, because without a knee, you can't run, all right? Regardless if I have my leg on or not, I'm just as mobile, right, as like a wheelchair. I can't run anywhere. So every confrontation, dude, we're standing our ground. We're going right here. Like, are you ready to die? Because I'm ready to die. And that's where we're at.
Yeah.
But this guy, so nobody would help, man. So I reached out to the Scout Sniper Association. I've been a member since like 2004, dude. And I was like, hey, can you help this, man? And it becomes a world like where we're sitting right here, right? We know each other, the connections, we serve with a guy, we know a guy, whatever. And so the Scout Sniper Association, Special Operation Wounded Warrior Sal, and Batting Canine, man, like we travel to Canada every 3 months, dude, and it's incredible. I mean, this guy pulls me on a wheelchair when I'm shopping, knows a left turn, a right turn. He's protection trained. He volunteers at schools. I mean, he's on it. He's been to Metallica concert.
Nice.
So
Got a better
so
life
the Scout Sniper Association, man. Yeah, dude. So that's how I got into it. But yeah, Scout Snipers, man. We're for Scout Snipers.
Before we do that, I wanted to say that I'm so glad that you have an actual trained service dog, because the amount of service dogs I see on airplanes that are not well behaved and clearly just somebody printed something out online drives me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But and I love Dobermans, as I told you 1,000 times.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like, right, you hand somebody a rifle, like that rifle is going to outshoot the shooter 99% of the time. As long as it's built right, it's always going to outshoot the shooter. Same with the dog. So people get these, high precision dogs, but they have no training. They have no foundation of their own, no support. How do I even train that dog into a new scenario? Because guess what? We encountered something totally new today. And so, people, they often lack their own component, which is the training and how do I even manage it. Something like this. And yeah, you said that, dude, I waited a year without a leg before I got a dog because I didn't want to be a part of that culture, that stigma.
Yeah. The other thing too about Dobermans is I know their mentality, and I know that they look vicious, and they were trained, they originally bred to be vicious, but anyone that's owned them knows that they are complete sweethearts, but also just innately they protect. So if you've noticed, I did not pet your dog the entire weekend because I just know better. I wonder how many people come up and I'm sure he's fine with people touching him, but at the same time, you don't want someone to come up and startle him. And I'm not saying that he would ever bite anybody on accident, because I'm sure you've trained that out of him. But point being,
it's a respect that you appreciated with your dogs, because you had a Doberman.
I had a Doberman. She wore a do not pet thing, and most people would cross the street and not come near. And to be honest, we wore it as a joke. Man.
Yeah. Well, it's that defense, right? Best defense is somebody looks at you and like, yep, I ain't messing with that shit. Like,
How
I'm
many
out.
pass?
And so they look over at the handicap guy and like, then they see him, they're like, fuck, and then they move on.
Yeah.
So now just the confrontations in general, dude, are just avoided. Or he goes with my wife and kids, right? When they want to go hiking and stuff, I'm not able to do. You know, and he goes with them, and so I don't have to worry about them, right? Because she
Nice.
goes to Canada and trains too, man. She knows how to employ him just like I do. It's amazing.
Oh,
Do
cool.
you miss climbing mountains, or you're like me and like I don't care if I ever climb another one?
Dude, they told me you'll never run again, right? With this implant. And I said, well, I don't like running when I had 2 legs, bro. Sure as fuck ain't doing it with 1. So I ain't got to
Yeah.
worry about it. Yeah. So I'm like, I can do without that. You know, I'm cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit's funny.
Oh,
Yeah. All right.
man.
So, Scout Sniper, because I've always been fascinated.
Yeah.
I've worked with sniper teams in Afghanistan, and I never worked with Marines, obviously. But so the Marine Corps stood up the Scout Sniper thing quite a while ago, and I just thought maybe you could go through kind of the history of the Scout Snipers, and
Yeah.
if you know
So,
why they're getting rid of it.
all right. So I'll talk like wave tops, right? So it kind of starts back really in World War One when you start seeing an enemy that had those capabilities, right? So now all of a sudden we're facing a foe that kind of has something a little bit more accurate, a little bit more long range in terms of weapon systems are getting better at that time. So we didn't have a sniping capability in the Marine Corps. But the Brits actually established right after World War One, during that time frame, the first formal school of sniping. So at that point, even at that point, like the whole world is recognizing like this is the thing. Marine Corps, yeah. So then, you know, fast forward, right? World War II comes along, and now it's even worse because we're facing 2 foes that have incredible sniping capabilities. Luckily, I mean, if you look, World War II, man, some of the deadliest people on the battlefield were Russian women sniping teams, dude. They were incredible. And just the psychological effect, right? Of all of a sudden, like he's down, we heard one crack, and like, oh shit, like you don't know where it came from, right? So World War II came around, man, and luckily at that point we had the USMC, you know, the formal marksmanship program that really kind of started working on the better precision marksmanship for every rifleman. So that kind of carried us forward to at least give us a little bit more of a capability. You know, Korea comes up, and now we got North Korea, and we have Chinese sharpshooters. Like we got problems. And at that point, we had competitive marksmanship programs, and so we started kind of sourcing those guys to operate in those environments. Because at this point, we're really starting to recognize that snipers can operate both in troop configurations and external troop configurations. Right. So now we have like this extra chess piece, like a queen, that can do all these funny moves, but at the very small kind of organic level. Commanders also at that point started understanding that, you know, observation depth, right? And now I can push somebody, my own organic reconnaissance unit, forward of the line of troops, and then kind of get a little bit more of an early warning device. But of course, with the end of the conflict became the end of the program, which we were kind of famous for, cyclical. Come back to Vietnam, and at this point, like we really need it. So Captain Edward Jim Land actually created the first formal Marine Corps Scout Sniper School out there in Vietnam. So they were running guys there, but at that point, what they had was sniper companies at the regimental level. But now it's okay. No shit. This is a program, Marine Corps program of record. We're going forward, and Marine Corps Scout Snipers were officially like a school trained MOS. Here's the thing. And then from there, man, you see, you know, kind of morph to like the state platoon post Vietnam, you know, surveillance and target acquisition. And then it just continues to evolve as the battlefield, the enemy, our optics, our cells continue to mature on the battlefield, right? So you start seeing, you know, 2-man teams up to 9-man teams, depending on how forward they are. They're doing Type 3 CAS, you know, so now they're getting air platforms from all branches and able to do Type 3 CAS and put warheads on foreheads. Because at that point, we're really this very small component that the commander at the company or battalion level had organic to them that they were able to manipulate, you know. But as with everything, force shaping happened. So we had the Force Design 2030 came out, and that's the one that kind of left out a little bit about Marine Corps Scout Snipers. Like, what are we gonna do with these guys? And they're like, let's, you know, let's push this to the side for now. So we still, I tell people, right, like we still have them. They're still there. We still have schools, but it's the recon sniper course, and then you have Marstock Advanced Sniper course. We go to special operations, operator level 1, 2, so on, marksmanship and sniper courses. So it's all there, and it's continuing to advance. But that scout sniper, that heritage and that capability, dude, to be able to do, like, I mean, just the average grunt to have guardian angel, man. And we had guys, and we love our reapers, because if we knew the reapers were there, dude, like they just said, man, we felt 100 times safer because we knew you guys were right there over top, man. So it's like that, and just that, like I said, psychological component, that precision strike on an enemy that now it ruins their whole day, man. Like, it shapes their whole operation going forward. And sometimes that happens for weeks, clears an area until they know for sure that sniper has moved out. So that's gone at that level, and for now.
So I'm trying to pull something up before I. So I wanted to ask about, so the Scout Sniper, great heritage, lots of like just old school stuff that's in there, and I see Scout Sniper stuff all the time, and a lot of people don't recognize it because of the symbology that you guys use.
Yeah.
So I was going to pull one up, and I don't know if, because I'm the king of, unless you don't want me to, you know what I'm going to pull up.
Symbolism.
I mean, go for it. I mean, symbolism. Right. Yeah, that's a good movie.
Symbology.
Symbology.
What's the symbology here?
So this is when I first found out about Sky Snipers, was this exact picture. And it was the Scout Sniper logo. And that's not necessarily the logo, but y'all got in a lot of trouble for that, right?
Yeah, man. And that was my old platoon, dude. I left that platoon prior to not long, maybe 2 years before that happened. So that one definitely hit for me, because I was like, shit, man, that's like, my old call sign. And that kind of deployment and those things, it kind of ended a little bad for some of our guys, man. It was a real hard one, dude. That was a real hard one.
I just wondered, because I know that it's not meant to be what people think that it was meant to be, because I totally get military symbology, and I know that there's been old patches that straight up have it on there, and I don't know the history of it. Is it kind of like you were like, we're taking this, because what a lot of people don't know, like Columbia, for instance, the clothing company Columbia, that is a swastika, and she basically was like, I'm taking this back from the Nazis, and so I've kind of always wondered, like, were you guys like, this is like World War II minded, and we're taking this back from you, or I just wondered. I figured you'd be the best person.
No, so not. Yeah, I mean, so I can give my opinion, right? This isn't the Marine Corps Scout Sniper opinion, just one guy. But like you said, reclaiming things, man. Everything gets taken because it's easier to mold into society for something that's already been seen or absorbed or approved. I mean, look at every major religion. They all just write over the same stories, put a mosque, a temple, whatever over the same spot.
Yep. Change the guy's name.
Same thing. that was before us. That was before World War II Germany and the Nazis. That was, some of the swastika inverted. It's just this Indian symbol of peace and stuff, man. And so it's like, who are you really letting win here? Or letting those guys that did incredible atrocities and completely just take everything away from different cultures around the world? No. Now, is it tasteful in some degrees? Because especially these day and age, no, it's not tasteful. We all got to be a little more cognizant of that, right? Or just leave the camera at home, boys.
Right? Yeah, there's some things you should
think. Dude,
The other thing I thought of it too was kind of like how motorcycle clubs will use that symbology, not necessarily because they're Nazis, but because they're trying to prove a point before we even meet each other. Like, we are badasses. Don't, it's like a deterrent kind of. And that was the other thing I kind of thought about it. It's like, that's a scary symbol. Those guys are probably bad people. I'm going to ignore them. And that's kind of the point, right? To be a deterrent.
Right. And here's the other thing too, man. I mean, in the Marine Corps, we don't have a whole lot of patches, badges, insignias. different units, it doesn't matter. It just says U.S. Marine on one side, Marine Corps, and it says your last name, and that's it. You might, unless you go get, jump wings, scuba bubbles, or your ATC or pilot, but we don't have a whole lot of distinguishing devices until now the Raider, insignia. So it's also like Marines kind of, again, taking something back, but then using it to have our own thing, right? Like we are something that's set apart, and it's a driving mental factor, I believe as well,
Well, I see it on. I have friends that are Scout Snipers, and they have some version of some kind of version of a symbol that is Scout Sniper, and most of it kind of resembles the same. But I look at it kind of like this is a brotherhood thing. It's like for us, and we don't really care if you get it or not. Like we don't mean it maliciously, but if that's the way you take it, then
well, I mean,
yeah, I know that I can see it on your hat. Yeah,
yeah,
but that's just one, right? Nobody would think anything about one lightning bolt. Yeah,
right. But like you said, man, it's fuck you, dude. You have no idea the kinds of things we've done for the people like you and the places that you wouldn't even think of filming something for your Instagram. Like,
and if you think that we're doing it because
cut
we're
us some slack,
like,
dude.
You've missed the point.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Like, cut us a little bit of a break, please.
Yeah. I just like bringing up the hard questions, and that was the only one I had. And that's not even a hard question. It was just like, people see it and they assume things, and I just wanted to say it publicly that that's not what it means. But
hey, great. So the good thing is I don't have social media, so I won't listen to everybody skewer me later on.
They won't skewer. People listening to this are pretty cool. They get it. They're level-headed. So that's the rundown on the Scout Sniper thing. You enjoyed it. What do you want to talk about? Kind of your background in there, like when you joined, when you went to school and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sure, man. So I came in 02, but in 04 I went through Scout Sniper Basic course out at Stone Bay, where Raider Regiment battalions are now located. So I went through out there to Stone Bay 04. I was in the invasion as just a infantry rifleman. I was a saw gunner for that one, and then after that I ran the indoctrination for the platoon. And so when I passed that, became started operating with them, started learning, started doing different things. And at that point, I was a pig, right? Professionally instructed gunman, but you're one of ours. You're not one of us, but you're one of ours.
Yeah.
And then, but of 04, became a hog. What we coined our Scout Snipers in the Marine Corps, hunters and gunmen, right? So we're a hog. And then I did Afghanistan, and then I did 2 more Iraq, including with 325. The first year with 3.2. So 325 had the highest casualties in a unit at the time, man. I mean, it was hard. And we had a whole 5-man sniper team ambushed and killed during that deployment from 325, from a reserve unit out of Ohio, man. And then we used to operate those boys all the time, dude. We'd help cover down each other's AO, man. Plus up here and there with some of their guys, dude. And then, like, due to no fault of their own, man, they're told you're going to go there, even though they knew it was a bad idea, man. That spot's been used too many times, and they were waiting for him, man. So it was terrible, dude. They took one of, Bosco, man. They took his body. They filmed the whole damn thing. I saw it, man. I came off an op, dude. My S2 intel officer grabbed me, and a couple of my guys from the team were like, "Hey, I need to show you something." We go in there, dude. He plays this freaking video. Literally just fucking happened. And one of the guys is missing. They took his body, dude, and started parading around the damn town on the hood of a car, right? Like he would took all their gear, dude, their sniper rifles, their comm equipment. And dude, so we were right back on a bird, dude, and we're out forward advance, man, go out there and try and find him. And we did, right? And through negotiations and some other things, we were able to get him back. Thank God. But and then after that deployment, man, I went to the Marine Corps Warfighting Lab. I did some things with DARPA, Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. Yeah, dude. Yep. Like the 50-pound brains, man. These guys are incredible. And so I did, they gave me some stuff and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna send you out. We want you to try these things in theater." I said, "That's my favorite playground." And went out there, dude. I went attached to 1-6 in Ramadi. in 2006, and that place was a smoke show at the time, man. It was bad, but through
Bobby had
intel guys, man, dude, Colonel Journey, who ended up being General Journey, and some of our intel guys, including my OIC at the time, were visionaries, man. And they basically just started doing some really our own psyops things, right? So normally, the only time we have psyops is we have Army attach,
Yeah.
which is
That's
few and
my
far
favorite
between.
shit.
So they kind of, dude, they started running some great campaigns. I'm not going to get into it because I think it still works. And it turned that city around, dude. So yeah, I went out there and
I was say we did some crazy psyop stuff where that because these people are not educated, so you can tell them something and they look at us like gods because we have all this equipment, and you tell them this piece of equipment can do this certain thing, and they're just like fuck, like they know that we're telling the truth, and they would, you end up. I'll tell one of them. It's we had this machine, and we would tell them that we would drag what it was a generator, but we would drag it through town and tell them that it could see through walls and it would see like their women naked, and so these vet teams will go out and be like, we don't want to look at you. We know that's haram. Like, we're not trying to look at you naked, but all it's looking for is gunpowder. So if you have gunpowder, just tell us and we'll skip your house. And they'd line up and be like, oh yeah, I got guns, gunpowder, rockets. We got all kinds of, and we'd make target packages out of it. Yeah, they had no idea that. I mean, they really thought that was the truth.
But even better, man. These guys were not just doing that, but they were turning the populace against the tide, dude. They were turning them against the insurgents. They figured out a way to embolden the populace to be like, you know what? Oh, I'm not the only one. Oh, okay. Sue or Sam or whatever is part of. All right, I'm gonna join, and then it grew and it became their own neighborhood watch, man.
Yeah,
it's funny that the evolution of a campaign. You have guys like yourself, the Marine Corps, go in and do what you guys do. You have psyops going on to turn an entire community on those people, right? Then you have an opportunity to bring in someone like Green Berets who are trained in taking those people and training them to be a guerrilla force. It's interesting to see how all those pieces can fit together and in phases.
Oh, totally, man. Every bit feeds in, man. Every bit feeds in, dude. I mean, one of our best kills, man, was a 6-man gun deal gone down, and the only reason why we were in that spot is because task force rolled in, dude, and we had to go hard because they had Spooky on station. So we're like, all right, dude, I guess we're gonna stop here and we're gonna go on this fucking derelict building and we're gonna hold up. And hey, hurry up, because like we don't like to move in the daytime. And dude, it took all night. So here's daybreak. We're like, fuck, we ain't moving. We're staying here till the night. And then all this stuff started going down, man. We could observe it, and it was all right. Here's an opportunity, and we ended a whole big gun deal going down, dude, with some pretty good arms, and ended up taking the 6 and taking all their stuff and Diddy mowing out of there. But yeah, right. It all feeds in together, man. Like you said, it's all the same mission, just a kind of different part of the onion.
Did you find that gold AK we were all looking for?
Dude, so many. Never got one.
You always hear about them. It was that, and there was this V-bid that was apparently so big it would like leave a crater the size of the moon. And like those are the two things. We're like, there's a gold AK out here, and there's a V-bid rolling around, and we're always looking for. I don't think they were real.
Dude, I don't know. They got close to the V-bids, man. You asked those Sable boys in 2005, man. They got rocked by a fire truck. Fire truck V-bid. Yes. And they posted the video online, man. You can see from the enemy's point of view, and it blew the shit. But luckily, the Marines, on watch were on it, dude. They hit the certain trigger points, and they were able to stop before it was able to penetrate into the camp. Because had it penetrated through, then it would have been a whole different situation. Nonetheless, there were casualties, but yeah, dude, fire truck.
So speaking of filming things, do you ever, because I still think about that. If I drive by somebody and they have their phone out and they're filming something, I freak out a little bit, like still to this day.
Bro, I have to have things to take care of different things for me too, man. Right? Like it's like look in the medicine cabinet, like holistic healing.
Right.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, let's get into the Scout Sniper Association. Because I know that's a huge passion of yours. That's why you're actually here. we've been just chit chatting for a while, but I want to get into it and how people get involved, and if there's anybody that doesn't know it exists that needs to know it exists, like just kind of all
Yeah.
the things, what you do.
Thanks, man. So the Marine Corps Scout Sniper Association, right? We're very small. There's only 2,000 and some change of us in the association right now. It's comprised of hogs, so they had to have gone through the Marine Corps former Scout Sniper School and got the MOS. Also, the pigs, professionally instructed gunmen, our guys, right, that operated with us for at least a year in a billet. So it's like, even though that operator hasn't been through like this last little school, it's done all this, and like, you know, you're right. That also helps take care of our docs, man. Right? It's hard for a doc to get a school seat, but man, I had my foreman out on more ops, dude, than I can know of, just because one, I needed a guy, and two, you bring great capability.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it also helps take care of, you know, like the officer that might have been in there for at least a year, but we do have some. So anyway, we're a nonprofit, right? 501c3, all the good stuff. And our design since 1998 was just to take care of our community, take care of our veterans, take care of our legacy. All right. So we're not force shapers. We can't redirect decisions made in terms of shutting down the schoolhouses or the MOS. But what we can do is, one, ensure, like Charles Mulhaney, who passed away this year, his rifles in the Marine Corps Museum from Vietnam. This type of legacy is, one, maintained and not lost. We've maintained a lot of different memorabilia over the years, man, that's going into different museums now. So ensuring those types of things aren't lost. And then also, like our veterans, dude, you know, of course, Scout Snipers, there aren't many of us, so we fall into the sauce of every other veteran that's looking out, maybe saying, I need help, I need assistance. And so the Marine Corps Scout Sniper Association, what we're able to do, man, is you contact us, and our goal is 24-hour. We're right back in touch with you. 72 hours, man. We figured out a way that we can at least help you right now, and then we're long gaming. Okay, so I was a support case to get my dog trained because nobody else would do it. You know, with the addition of Sal and Baden, I have a support case right now, man. That's huge. That's I feel it, right? So it's a Marine Scout Sniper, got out 2019 with his nice young wife. They start having a family, right? He wants the American dream, starts his one truck, one trailer construction business, right? This guy's he's gonna take care of his own. At age 28, 2 years ago, his wife starts not feeling well, a lot of bone pain. They find out she has stage 4 metastatic breast cancer with HER+2. We give you 1 to 3 years. At 28, dude, with a like an infant, and 1 to 3 years. So now, right, like we talked about it, we're too prideful. We don't reach out. We don't talk about it. We don't need. We don't want help. We want the help, but somebody else needs it more than us. Right?
Yeah.
That's always our thing. Somebody else needs it more than us. No, bro, you need it. Like, so other big name organizations, and I mean like multi-million-dollar nonprofit veteran organizations, turned them down because it wasn't him with the cancer. Like, I'm sorry, but it's your wife. No, hold on, time out, right? Like we are the system. Like, I could not, without my wife's help, man, my life, I don't know how I would function being disabled.
Yep.
So, and then my kids, right? Like, what do we care more about? The women and children, the wives, the kids, not us, because we can fucking take anything, bro. Like, I don't care. You throw anything at me, I'm gonna take it. So, but everybody was turning them down, man. Like, wouldn't do shit. So they had a friend, you know, started on GoFundMe, and after a couple weeks, man, just stalled at like 4,900, dude. So they contacted us, like, please, we just need help. Like, he's drowning. He's working 7 a.m. to freaking 2,100 at night because he's got another employee that has a family. So he's not only got to worry about himself, but take care of this guy, right?
Yeah.
So his wife is about to enter year 3 of her 1 to 3 year life sentence. That's all you have left, right? So their daughter, who's 3 now, about to be 4, will never have a freaking memory of her own of her mother, right? And that's horrible to me. This guy's missing every last minute that he has available with his wife, who since then the cancer has spread, dude. from her hips to her brain, right? And now she has seizures because those brain tumors just keep growing. So the daughter has to go to daycare. Mom's at home, right? The wife's at home by herself or with her mom that comes by, or her mother. Husband's working freaking 14-hour days or more. And so it was a disaster, man. It was tough. So we started pushing her GoFundMe hard, man. When I met you, dude, I was constantly on the phone because all I wake up at night. How much has it grown? How much has it grown? And we're able to get them about $23 more thousand dollars in the few days that we kind of started pushing it. But
Is it still up?
That right there, man, dude, it's still up, and it's really important. If you go to our website, right, scoutsniper.org, it pops up right there.
All right, we're gonna share
And
that.
it's
Yeah, we'll make
Tyler
sure to
and
share that.
Tamika. Yeah, dude, Tyler and Tamika Harbert, man, it's nicest family. Dude, I've talked to the old platoon commander. I've talked to the old platoon sergeant. Dude, they can't speak highly enough of them, man. Just about one of the old platoon sergeants, man, one of the old buddies. He's like, dude, they let me live in their apartment for a few months out there in Hawaii because I was about to go to school, man, and like I had nowhere to go, and they're just like, hey, just stay here. So
That's
yeah,
one
we're
thing that people
pushing
don't
it hard,
understand
man.
about.
'Cause
We're going to
Yeah.
push that too. But one thing people don't understand that I think is important to say is, I don't know how you would feel if you lost your wife, but I know what would happen to me if I lost my
Mhm.
wife. So taking care of my wife
Yeah.
is taking care of me. So if you want to help a veteran and they
Exactly.
need help and it's their family, I mean, shit, man, we are the same. Like my wife is me. I am my wife. I need her in my life. I need her support. So yeah, I'd be heartbroken, man, to think that my brothers that have organizations like that with
Yeah.
millions of dollars wouldn't help me. It would crush me. So thank you for doing
Yeah,
that.
dude. I mean, so yeah. Well, I mean, that's the association as a whole, man. And thank God. And he didn't even reach out, dude. It was his old buddy from his old platoon, man, reached out because he wouldn't
Really?
even do it. So he
Mhm.
reached out on behalf and then made the introductions. But we've also had like Brandon Day from Daybreak Media out there in Pueblo, Colorado, man, area. He has donated to do family portraits, man, and portraits of mom and daughter, like stage photographs. He's gonna do video interviews, like, hey, the speech to the daughter on graduation day, the speech for the wedding. He's gonna, yeah, dude, yeah, right. That's why it keeps me up at night, dude. Because I got 4 kids and a wife, and I couldn't imagine looking and being like, they're not gonna have her anymore. Neither am I, and she won't have them. Like, I'd be a disaster. I couldn't. So he's gonna do that, man. I mean, and it's that kind of stuff, dude. We got another hog out in Colorado. He's in like meal prep, dude, and he's gonna drive down and mow the lawn every couple of weeks, man. And this guy lives 2.5 hours away. But it's brothers, man. Brothers helping brothers, and like that's what we care about. So it's great. Great cause, man.
We're going to share that. And if you're listening, you want to donate, whether you're on audio version or YouTube, the link is below. It's down there. So
yeah, we appreciate it, but any organization, we all, and that's the one thing, dude, we all are here for the same reason, right? So we are all whiskey and whitetails right now too, because you guys do the same thing we do, man. It's just under a different name. Like, who cares?
yeah.
Right?
We like the
Get the
community. We
message
work
out, man.
heavily with it, and we try to stay away from organizations that have high salaries, and that's kind of been our shtick for a long time. It's like,
Yeah.
if the guy that runs the charity, like Wounded Warriors or Folds of Honor, I don't mind saying it, but like if Folds, the guy, I know they do great work, but that CEO makes $600,000 a year, so I don't think they need my money. So it's just
Yeah,
one
so
of those things, man.
Dude, I mean, I'm a board member, right, as a VP of family care, and everything is on my dime, dude. Everything. So if I travel to an event, that's on me. Like, I'm paying my gas, I'm paying my airline ticket, right? Every board member is, dude, and we're very transparent to everybody, dude. Our CFO just sent the expense report for this month, and it's just support case and then donations, because all of our dollars turn around to the veteran, man, to our guys, for our community. Like, we can't do it that way, right? Yeah.
I get these huge corporations need to have a strong guy at the forefront, and that strong guy is typically expensive. I understand. I'm not saying that shouldn't happen, but when it comes to specialized charities, it makes me sick. I mean, we get asked to help with stuff, and I pull it up, and they took in $2 million and spent 1.5 in payroll, and it's like, dude, you spent a quarter on veterans and you took 75% in pay. It makes me absolutely sick.
And 600 grand, something like that. That's excessive. Like that's beyond reasonable, right?
That's a
For
lot,
that,
dude.
you know. I mean, good
I
night.
don't get it. I don't get it. I have people all
Nah,
the
I don't
time because
either,
I
man.
tell people all the time, like, if you're gonna, if you want to work with a charity or donate a substantial sum, you know, let me know first,
Hmm.
and I'll pull their 990s and I'll send it to you. Like, I didn't pull y'all's, I didn't feel the need to, but
Yeah. I've hurt some
yeah.
feelings doing that.
So have I.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we're all about it, dude, because we want everybody to know, dude, and guys like you, right, that we're having this conversation on your platform need to know that we're an honest group of operators, dude, that we just care about each other the same as you. So it's you know, that's why that transparency, go for it.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
But it's nice, right? Like, real recognizes real. Like, we don't need to mess with you guys either, because it's like, dude, these guys are out there taking pictures, right? I asked you, like, hey man, can you do me a favor? We got a sponsored shooting team here. You know, we're paying their match fees. Could you follow them around and take pictures? Because me with my one leg and, you know, my booth and everything, I can't. Right. And so Matt, they was like, dude, hell yeah, absolutely. Like, which ones are they? All right, bro, I got you. And he followed them through the whole day, man, the whole course of
Yeah.
fire. And
They
it's
were over there
incredible,
and they were
beautiful
like,
pictures, man.
oh, thank you, dude. They took
Yeah.
their shirts off and they were like, these are hot as shit because the sun was blaring in their black shirts, long sleeve black shirts. I was like, I know. I was like, just put them back on for one more, and like I'll follow you around till you want to take them off. But one of my favorite
And
photos
then
that I
what?
took is the title photo on that in that album, and it was one of your guys. It's one of my favorite photos I took the entire weekend.
Yeah, dude. I believe that was Adam. Yeah, man, that was a great one. Right through the keyhole window, man, and seeing them set
Yeah.
up there in the window taking out targets. Yeah, that was a great match, man. Hotter than hell and humid. Good night. But
Did they have fun?
impressive. Well, you know, yeah, they did. You know, and they certainly did, man. And it was nice because we had dude. It was a broad range, man. Like you guys talked about, we had civilian all the way up to tier 1. And so it was a cool mix to kind of have that community together, and all they're doing is just sitting around talking. Hey, this is the kind of loads I use. This is what my equipment is, man. Oh yeah, this is what I thought about that target package, or do you need this? And we're talking, you know, female enthusiasts, precision marksmanship enthusiasts, all the way up to tier 1. So it was cool. Yeah,
There's that
there
shot
you
so
go.
people can see it.
Dude, that's sweet, man. And it's not, yeah, that's a beautiful shot, man.
I like it. I like
So
photography. I
yeah,
like
it's cool.
working with
I
Ortiz,
liked it,
dude,
man.
because
But I'm glad to meet you guys.
yeah, 100%. I like it because I get to meet people like you. I get to meet people that are kind of dealt with some of like did some of the stuff I did, and you know, it's just a cool community to be around. But I love the sniper stuff because of the skill and precision that it takes to do it. And like my brother is a sniper for the Green Berets and 7th Group, and he's always trying to get me to run a match with him. I'm like, dude, there's no way. I'm not going to go out there and embarrass you like that. But it looks like a lot of fun. I mean, but I enjoy taking pictures and videos of it more. And then Ortiz is one of the nicest people I've ever met. Like, I love, like, they don't make money on those matches either. I mean, they literally do it because they know the community needs it and it's fun. I mean, it pays for like
Dude,
the
so, I mean, same with
Airbnb
Lee
and the travel.
Wadsworth.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, Lee Wadsworth was like, dude, hey, use my land, use my range, whatever you want, man. And he was just like the facility. And, you know, Ortiz ran it, and, you know, a lot of good shooters came, dude. And it was great to see things progress. And some of the gear, dude, I was like, God, I wish I could afford that, right? They're like, I had family and friends like, are you going to compete? I'm like, I can't afford the hardware, man.
I can't either.
No, dude.
Just get you a masterpiece arms lower and a bolt and a scope and a blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, and a Kestrel, and then it's like, yeah, I don't think so. I don't.
Bro, I'd be happy with the M40A1.
$20,000. Oh, that'd be cool too. If the Marine Corps wants to give me one of those, I'll run a comp.
Dude, I'd be happy. yeah, man. Yeah, so it's cool, dude. You know, community grows, communities are healthy.
I also got to meet Tony Cowden, which was like
Yeah,
really cool for me.
I got a picture of Tony. Yeah, dude. Yeah, how about day 2 with the UDTs?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like show off. Nice legs.
Yeah.
He wore UDTs all day?
Yeah, dude, the whole time. He wore a tank top. You didn't see? He posted on Instagram. He got blisters on his elbows and his knees from laying on that hot ass roof. It's a metal roof. It's top of a Connex, and his skin's all blistered up. Yeah, he said he can't feel it. He's got that skin disease where you can't feel the skin.
Oh, really? That sucks.
Yeah, he said he did not DMT, but
ayahuasca.
No, it wasn't that. It was the damn Ibogaine. He did
Oh,
Ibogaine.
oh yeah, he talked
And
about
he was
that
like,
on the
my
podcast.
favorite part about Ibogaine was I took a shower, I could feel the water touching my skin. And he was like, it just felt amazing.
Oh man, that's the little shit we take for granted.
Small wins.
Yeah.
Well, but then it turns around, right? And then it becomes a win, and that's all it takes, man. Small wins. Right? I tell people like, how do you do it? I'm like, I wake up and I say, this is the kind of day it's going to be. This is what I'm going to do, and then I focus till bedtime. And I say, oh yeah, bedtime, and then we're gonna do it again tomorrow, man. I mean, there's no master plan. You just wake up and you say, this is how the hell it's going to be, and then you push forward, man. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, love it, dude. Yeah, here's a badass, man. There's a couple guys.
What's that?
There were a couple badasses out there, man. A couple guys rocking UDTs too, man. Old school.
I didn't want to say anybody's names because most of them were in the unknown category, but I think Tony collaborated on our reel, so I was like, I can say his name. But yeah, there was a few people out there that were pretty special.
Yeah, dude. Me, I'm nothing anymore, man. So I don't have to worry about it, right? So,
right.
Anonymity doesn't matter to me anymore. Nobody's coming for this guy. Like I'm not repelling out of anything anytime soon, dude. You know, that told me you can't jump anymore. I'm like, fine. All right. So
what's funny is you probably think that they look at you like you're not a fair fight, but I'm looking at you and telling you that you'd be more than fair.
Bro, yeah. I'll take my leg off and beat somebody to death with it, and then put it back on like a Chuck Liz drill. It'd be awesome. It'd be great. Dude.
Shit.
Take a selfie too, and then get in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, dude, photos get you in all kinds of trouble today.
I'm telling you, man. I tell you what.
Is there any other Scout Sniper stuff we need to know or about the association?
No, man. We're just, hey, if you are a Scout Sniper, you've been in, you think you fall in the category, contact us, man. We're here. We're making leaps and strides, and we're putting together amazing teams and doing some big things. So look for us, support us, be one of us. We love it. We appreciate you guys, man, and every person even clicks, likes, or donates. It's awesome. Really appreciate it.
I'm happy to.
You guys are awesome, man. Thanks for having me on, dude, and spreading the message, dude.
Yeah, man. Give us all the info, Facebook, Instagram, website, everything, and then we'll let you roll.
Whiskey and Whitetails, buddy. ScoutSniper.org. All right. Anything USMC Scout Sniper Association. You'll find our emblem, and that's us.
That's it.
Hey, you can always look at ScoutSniper.org and you see the pictures of the board members. Email us direct. So whole nine's up there, man.
Hell yeah. Cool, man. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. I enjoyed the talking. You're an awesome dude, man. I'm glad I got to meet you.
Thanks, brothers. Appreciate it, man. Cheers. Be safe.
Yeah, dude. Cheers.
Cheers, man.